Yes.
to the Marvel portion of the program. What if second episode, and it's when T'Challa becomes Star-Lord. In the second episode of Marvel's animated anthology series, Yondu outsources the abduction of Peter Quill and Taserface and Kraglin, who come back with the Prince of Wakanda. T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, grows up a Ravager and assembles a ragtag team that includes Yondu, Michael Rooker, Nebula, Karen Gillian, Kraglin, Sean Gunn, Korath, Jijumon Hansu, and reform Mad Titan Thanos, Josh Brolin. The crew conspires to steal an artifact from the new lead galaxy gangster, the Collector, Benicio del Toro. They fight off the Collector, who has a deluxe bag of tricks, and the Black Order to save the galaxy and return to Earth just in time for Ego, Kurt Russell, to meet his son, Peter Quill, who works at a Dairy Queen in Missouri.
Missouri.
So what? Missouri.
I believe it's pronounced Missouri.
Depends. Yeah. Missouri. Good journalism school there, the University of Missouri. Missouri. But Missouri. Yeah. So, Brenton, what were your takeaways from this episode?
My concern was that they showed a lot of they seemed to show a lot of this in the trailer for the show. They seem to show a lot of the first episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to show a lot of this episode. The story was, it was fine. It was whatever. There was no, it was the story, right? I honestly feel like the coolest thing for me in this episode was seeing Thanos be a good guy, basically.
Yeah, but still backing his point.
Yes. It's like, well, that sounds a lot like genocide. It's like, well, it's random,
but efficient.
It's efficient. It is efficient. I really thought that was funny. Like, I thought I thought it was funny. I thought it was really well done. I really liked that they threw in a lot of the music elements. That worked really well. There's something about, I don't know if they're messing with their voices a little bit, but I know, we knew that this was Chadwick Boseman. It's been all over the internet that this is Chadwick Boseman's last performance and he's in 4 episodes or whatever. But for some reason, the characters do not sound like themselves. And I wonder if they're messing with it a little bit to make it like more high pitched or something like that. Because that's what it seems to me. It seems like all the characters' voices are in a higher octave. And the one that really threw me off was Benicio del Toro. I was like, there's no way that's Benicio del Toro. And then in the credits, it was like, no, that's actually him. I was shocked by that. I was like, that doesn't sound anything like him.
Yeah.
And so that's why weird. I wonder if they're messing with the audio a little bit. As far as, I mentioned this, so this is a very mild spoiler. This is like a banana pepper mild spoiler for our Marvel episode that will come out on Tuesdays. I don't like Nebula. And I don't like any of the scenes that she's in. So it was kind of a bummer for her to be a big part of this episode. I
thought of you immediately.
It took me out of it.
Yeah.
It took me out of it, especially she's like a blonde wig or something on.
Yeah, she's got
that
hair.
Was strange. The other thing that I really liked was the Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah.
Little
Seth
cameo. Green. Yes. Howard shows up in all the Guardian stuff. The one of the first true Marvel movie heroes, Howard the Duck from back in the day. I really, the interesting thing was that because of how noble T'Challa is, the Ravagers become like Robin Hood almost, but again, the action was great. It was really cool to see a melding of different characters that you wouldn't necessarily think that you'd find together. The character of Korath being basically T'Challa's biggest fan was really funny.
So funny.
But I still come back to the best part of this episode for me was Thanos.
Oh yeah, Thanos was my favorite part, just because it comes out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, okay, Thanos is a good guy now. That was really funny. I think my biggest takeaway, other than Thanos, was just Peter Quill sucks.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. It was just the galaxy would have been fine if it wasn't Peter Quill, but he kind of screws everything, which is literally the point of, Infinity War. If he just doesn't lose his emotions,
Yeah.
They get the glove off and, boom, it's, it's one of those like funny things where like they kind of like the wink and the nod. He's working at Dairy Queen, which is about as like good as you could expect Peter Quill to be doing.
Well, and I think that is a kind of an Easter egg towards Guardians 2, because there's a Dairy Queen prominently featured whatever that thing, when Ego's seeds or whatever come flying out of the ground.
Right.
I just, it's efficient.
It's efficient.
Yeah.
Sounds like genocide. Well,
it sounds a lot like genocide.
It's random, but efficient. Sounds like me. Actually, that's like that might be my Instagram profile now. Random but efficient.
Random but efficient. Yeah.
Sounds like genocide. Random but yeah.
I thought they kept that one under wraps pretty good, because we'd seen all of the T'Challa and Yondu, or Ravager never flies alone or whatever. Is like, is that a catchphrase? So very good, but obviously. I didn't feel let down by this at all.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
And I think that there was a part of me after the first episode that felt a little bit let down. We saw so much of the Captain Carter stuff. We saw
so much of it. Yeah.
And that's not a storyline that really jives with me to begin with. So I felt kind of let down. There was a schedule. Somebody posted like what the release schedule is going to be. Let's see if I can peep that real quick. Oh. That's like for diets. That's intermittent fasting diet is not what I'm looking for. I'm not even sure.
You're not looking for that?
I typed in what if schedule and it came up intermittent fasting diet, which is
exactly what you're looking for.
Exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, it's somewhere, but I don't have the wherewithal to find it right now. So I'm not going to worry about it.
I just think I think every episode is going to actually get better every time. I swear, I'm kind of, because the fact that they put a Chadwick Boseman featured 1 second makes me think it can only get better. Because like, why would you do that otherwise?
I think it's just, I hope it just gets weirder.
That'd be fine too. Weirder is probably better. Yeah.
I hope it gets really, I just hope the further along it just gets weirder and weirder. I mean, we get Marvel zombies and all these different things like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man and stuff. I just hope that it just keeps getting just stranger and stranger and stranger. Drax was not.
Oh, the bartender Drax.
Yeah, bartender Drax was not voiced by Dave Bautista, and Peter Quill, for like the 2 words or whatever that he says at the end, was not Chris Pratt. Yeah. Which I sent you that thing, and I guess I should explain why whenever I say his name now I laugh, because I saw somebody tweet, why would they name their kid after a rodent? Crisp Rat. And now I can't unhear that. Every time I hear his name, I just think of Chris
Pratt. Yep.
Chris Pratt. That's what I should have made that rat that was in my yard.
Yeah.
I fried it up, put her in the air fryer.
There you go.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
That's horrifying. No.